Welcome to the GSTL. It is time for Slayers against Fnatic. The crowd is ready. I am ready, and I'm sure you are, Keller. I don't even have to ask you.
Definitely am. This is going to be a great day. Slayers against Slayers against Fnatic. Here we go. And this is going to be really epic. We talked about the lineup a little bit earlier and just went through the players. And there are just so many really great players that we have today. The matches should be really amazing.
Yep, we do have two missing Protoss players for the Slayers team. It's going to be Alicia and Puzzle, who are currently lost in an airport.
Exactly.
So I've been told.
Apparently, the first thing that happened is that their names were mixed up. Something was mixed up with the names.
This can happen,
so when they went to the airport, they could not actually fly. Well, when did that happen? I think 2 days ago.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but...
It didn't happen today. It happened like a few days ago, and they wanted to go to the US. They couldn't because there was something mixed up with the name, so their ticket was apparently wrong. Then they flew to Japan, and in Japan they missed their flight because I think their flight was delayed like 20 minutes, so they missed the transition, and then... Well, that's where we currently are. So Sella is just running around the studio. Is like we're like,
talking. Me, man, it's terrible to be lost in a Narita airport. Narita is not a good airport to be stuck in. In my experience, being stuck in Narita several times, that is not the place to be. If you're a Narita airport person listening to this, I think you guys can improve your airport just a little bit. It could be a little bit better. All right.
I actually didn't even know that you could fly from Japan straight to the US. I thought you would always go first to China.
Nope.
Most of the flights that I took so far went to China and then to the US. So.
That is a possibility as well. But, well, you might be lucky if you get that, because the Chinese airports I've been to are pretty nice, but...
It seems to be a little bit more reliable. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so, but we got two missing Protoss players, so the kind of final link for the Slayers core team is going to be Crank, but of course a starting player for Slayers EG is going to be an EG player.
Exactly.
It's going to be JYP.
And he's facing a Zerg, he's facing Bjall, and Bjall did very good so far in the team league, and of course we have also the rest of the Fnatic team. We have Rain, we have Alive, and while talking about it, we have a quick look at the team info right now and give you guys a quick glimpse of those two teams. Fnatic Raid Call and Slayers EG.
You can see the brace distribution here. You can see the Slayers EG roster is pretty full of players, 23 in total. And MMA currently being the most contributing player, but actually this guy has not been doing so well recently. And the highest win rate, of course, is Puma for his team there, rocking the yellowish hair.
Yep, and for Fnatic we have Alive and Moon. Most only players here. Todd still being the captain, he's not here. He's in France right now.
Yep. And here is basically our win ranking, I guess you could call it. That says it's named here. Basically, who has done the most with win rate in the GSL as far as individual players go. Symbol still in first with 9-1. Puzzle and Life taking a close second.
Yeah, and with Xenex, we just had the news like a few hours ago, if I'm not mistaken, that Xenex is going to merge with StarTale.
Yeah, that's really interesting news. I'm kind of curious as to see how that kind of will play out. It seems that it's more not of a merging, but an acquisition, I guess you could say. And the thing is, some people are saying, well, StarTale clearly bought this team. Well, that's not necessarily true. Xenex needs help right now, and they may have just made some sort of agreement where they merge together, but it's more of StarTale now it contains those players. It's as if every single player from Xenex has moved to StarTale and Xenex no longer exists. It
basically ends up with suddenly StarTale. I mean, they have a great team. They have a lot of good players, but right now with also the Xenex players as well, this is going to be intense.
Yeah,
this is going to be like really crazy. They have a little bit of problems with Zergs, especially as July has to go to the army really soon. So suddenly they have basically really good Zerg players to fill up the roster, and Xenex StarTale, that is going to be epic. Next GSTL season should be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, it should really be. I mean, it's no longer relying on Curious anymore for that Zerg kind of hitter. It's got some other players in there, like Life, for example. We're looking forward to see what he's going to do on StarTale. So that's just kind of a cool, interesting news that you guys may not have heard about, but now you have. And today, obviously, you mentioned our starting matchup is going to be a PvZ, and the starting map is actually going to be on Cloud Kingdom. So should be interesting to see how this one plays out. JYP, though, really known for his PvZ. So this is going to be somewhat of a problem for Bjall, I think. He's definitely going to have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, definitely. Bjall has to play on top of his game in order to defeat JYP. JYP is a great player against Zerg. And he is pretty relaxed, pretty confident as well. We met him earlier, and he was in a really good mood.
Yeah, recently he really has been in general. The guy's always happy.
He's the Protoss teddy bear.
whenever you say that, man, even if he's not happy when I see him, I get happy. I just have a smile on my face. I'm like, you're right.
But you can see that.
I can see it.
He's totally the teddy bear.
It's hard to see, actually. I have to say, if you can't see him in person, it's hard to see. But when you see him in person, then you really know.
Yeah, if you see how he walks, how he just treats people, he's just one big teddy bear. Yeah. It's really funny. It's a cool guy. Really nice guy.
I'm really excited to see what he's going to do here. Now, here is our first team coming out. It is going to be Fnatic. This team actually surprising people so far with how good their results have been. A great lineup of players, great decision making by the coach Juani on who to send out and when to send them out. This guy really puts a lot of time and effort in preparation.
Yeah, right now with the European players not being in Korea, actually the bench looks a little bit empty.
Yeah, it certainly does. And it definitely looks like they have, I guess, their team is well-rounded, but it looks a little bit less well-rounded with those European players missing. They have kind of a lack of Protoss players. They usually only send out Oz these days, as Todd and Naiden are no longer here.
Yep.
Aries not coming out at all, actually, so far.
And here's a quick look and the lineup, now, which will basically confirm what we just said regarding that the European Protoss players are currently not in Korea. Here we have them, Todd and Naiden, and of course also Oz and Ares.
Yep. And of course, Alive and Rain making up Terrans, being former TSL players, good friends.
And here are our Zerg players, Bial, Departure, and Moon.
Departure nearly qualifying for the OSL.
Yeah, he's playing really well, and I think we might see him today.
Yep, I saw, that this guy actually does have a lot of great multitasking skill. Just watching him, standing behind him, playing at that qualifier, really saw a lot of potential in him. There's Alive, and of course Rain. Moon, sitting in the corner. He's like, what is that over there?
He's actually looking at you.
He can't be looking. Is he actually looking at me?
Yeah, he was looking at you. It wasn't me.
Yeah, actually he was. I actually didn't know. See, it was a mystery as to which side the team booths are on because I didn't know because it's behind me, so I can't see. So I was like, well, it's either Slayers behind me or Fnatic because Fnatic's usually on the other side. He looked at you
and he's like, something is wrong with Wolf's hair today.
Listen up, Moon. I really like your hair, actually. See? Look at that. See that knot? Moon obviously being basically the MVP of his team, I would say, recently, he's powered through so many good players, and he's been better than anyone's expected this season.
What I'm really looking forward to is the first game today, to tell you the truth. Bial did so good in the last team matches. He's up against a very, very tough opponent to beat, but the first game, that will basically show how good Bial right now is. If that was, I don't want to say
if there's any indicator, yeah. Well, Jessica wearing the natural look today with her hair, coming out with a really white top there, standing out quite a bit. She looks good.
Yeah, and to the left we have Sela. He's pretty stressed right now, as we said earlier, because of the problem with his two traveling players.
Yep, and that can be a little bit stressful to deal with.
Boxer here as well.
Look at that watch, man. She is all about the bling today. She's got the necklace going on and everything. Looking very shiny.
That watch looks way too heavy for her.
It does. It looks like it could be quite heavy. But there is our Slayers team, and you can see that JYP is already in the booth. Here is our Slayers EG team broken down by race. Likely to start with our Terrans. Yep, MMA, Ryung, Clyde, and Thorzane. Thorzane not able to appear today.
It's not at the studio, but we have a few Zergs here. Mia, Yu-Gi-Oh, Min, and Koka in the lineup. Koka with a really impressive performance recently.
And last but not least, EG's JYP along with Crank. Making up our Protosses that will be able to appear today as Alicia and Puzzle, of course. We mentioned earlier they were traveling.
And Koka definitely one of the players that we want to see today. I want to see him again. It was really well done in the last GSTL match that they played.
We have to see him. Unless they just kill everybody with JYP, this guy is going to come out. He just has to.
Yeah, I think so too.
The guy has shown so much promise already. Well, it's time to talk a little bit more about our starting players. We've already mentioned who they are. And here is our starting player for Fnatic, Go. And that name means star in Korean, and this guy, he certainly is one.
Yeah, he definitely is. But it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to prove himself against JYP today. A very tough opponent that he has to face in the first game on Cloud Kingdom. And yeah, it's not going to be easy.
No, it's definitely not.
He definitely has to bring his A game here if he wants to.
And you know, I feel like this starting match is actually going to really set the precedent for this team league because both of these guys are important for their teams, but if JYP gets an early win, JYP is a really tough opponent for Fnatic, and so if they can't beat him with this first match, then they're going to have to start using maps to take him out maybe and try to snipe him because he's going to be a tough opponent for them to deal with.
JYP is definitely really tough to deal with, so if you can avoid it, you don't want him to gain momentum. In Team League, that can be really problematic. And here we have him.
And he's playing GSTL 8 times, taking a ranking of 37 currently in Code A. Was one of the only players to be in Code S without a team. Very few players like that. Supernova, one of those as well right now. And Genius once was, and I guess still is. And, you know, this guy has been through a lot of team switches, but he has stayed strong through them all. Really looking forward to see what he's going to do today.
Yeah, he talked in the last few days. Actually, I talked to him a little bit on Skype, and he was really preparing a lot for today's team match.
That's good to hear. JYP, I have to say, this guy can play all sorts of strategies. He can play off of 2 base in this matchup. He can go for the 3rd. He might just all-in you. But at the same time, his late game with Mothership play is quite strong. And on a map like this, we may very well see that.
Yeah, we might very well see a long game. Might see Mothership here. I can also see him just go for a timing attack here. We've seen just a couple... in the last few days, we were really spoiled when it came down to the Protoss versus Zerg. We had, of course, Symbol against Seed. We had Naniwa against DRG. And all those games were really intense and exciting. So in terms of Protoss versus Zerg, that was quite something to watch. It was really great to see all these strategies and openings. But now, with JYP up against Vial, we might just see another epic match. And we are live to the top right of the map. We have our Fnatic player, the Zerg in the red. He is...
Fnatic late call, Pure!
That was a pretty cool zoom in there. Gave the illusion of like a cylindrical motion. At the bottom left are Protoss from the team EG, partnering up with Slayers here. His ID is...
EG, JYP!
Calder calls him the Teddy Bear Protoss.
We need some kind of video from him.
Yeah?
The JYP Teddy Bear video.
That will show the world what he's really like.
Well, we have the pylon at the low ground already, so we will definitely... We had a lot of plays lately with the gateway first once again. Right now, the usual style is rather go for a forge first, which leaves you a little bit defensive in the early stage of the game and opens up the possibility for the Zerg player to establish his 3rd base early on. And usually that's what it's about, the Protoss trying to take down the 3rd. Of course, sometimes you can just try to establish another base on your own, going for 3 bases, but as a Protoss player, that's always a pretty big risk.
Yeah, we saw Naniwa just yesterday go for that gateway type of build, which a few players have still continued to mess around with. You know, for example, what's his ID? Seed, of course. Yeah, Seed has been doing this quite a bit recently as well. And we are going to see Nexus before Forge going down.
He sends out his probe and scouts exactly to know when the timing is going to hit for the pool, so that he knows if it's safe or not to build this. And missing the block here.
That was a mistake.
It was only by a very, very small margin, but it was enough for Bjal to set down his hatch, so that's definitely a bit annoying for JYP. He would have loved to block this hatch a little bit longer.
Yeah, definitely. At least force the unit to go to the 3rd base to make the hatchery, or make the Zerglings come out after the pylon gets placed. Great job, though, by Bjorl getting that hatchery down, because even if your opponent makes a mistake, it's hard to capitalize on it. Good job there by Bjorl.
The first two Zerglings are already out chasing the probe away, and this is the one important thing that you have to do as a Zerg early on in the game. You have to make sure that your opponent is not able to have a probe on the map, so that there can't be any kind of hidden pylons. And of course you also want to spot what exactly is going on at your opponent's wall off. So sending a few Zerglings out there, taking the Zalnaga watchtowers, chasing down the probe, and making sure that you know when the Protoss is going to start with his upgrades, when he's going for the +1 attack upgrade, or if he even skips it and goes for some kind of tech with the Stargate. Yeah, has to wall it for you completely with the second gateway, and as soon as the first one is done, he will cancel it, get his cybernetics core, and yeah.
You're exactly right, and this is just a time-buying tactic. You can see he's already even canceled it. Probe will spot the third. This is very important. Nicely done by JYP, who's double gassing back at home. Now the question will be, of course, what is the follow-up here? JYP not known for Stargate play, but that may be one reason why he wants to use it here, since his opponent has been preparing for him for quite a bit.
He sometimes uses it in order to execute specific strategies, like we've seen him play this one game on Metropolis, where he used the Stargate opening to make sure that there were no scouting overlords, so that he was able to get the wall prison in and block the ramp. Strategies like this are definitely something that he really likes, really refined builds, very crystal clear.
Yeah, you're right. He does oftentimes use the Stargate for that. That specific game on Metropolis comes to mind. And see what he's got up his sleeve. No +1 just yet, but he may start it right now as he has the gas. It's up to him, to the side, and looks like the answer is no. He's not going to be doing that. Warp Gate research has not started either. There it is. And he's taking this third gas very quickly at his natural, taking the one far away from the Overlord.
I like the location for the cybernetics core, by the way. I really like this. Placing it in the main base. We've seen a lot of games decided because the Zerg player was able to snipe the cybernetics core when he attacked, because it was part of the wall-in.
Yes.
Especially the wall-off that he kind of are forced to make on Daybreak comes to mind.
Oh, and he is going for probably DTs very quickly here with the third gas, and, you know, with no additional gateways being added just yet, and with how quickly he's getting this, there's no real reason to try to hit a Blink Stalker timing with this.
He's going for the +1 attack upgrade just now.
And the Zealots will scout a little bit here. He's going to force some Lings. He's controlling the watchtower at this point in time. 8 drones on the way. Still only the 4 Lings, and as soon as he sees these Zealots, he is going to have to react. The Roach Warrior is going down at a pretty normal time, about 650. And here come those Zealots. He's just trying to force Zerglings, so you can see he's even running away with them before he even engages. He's not going to try to lose the Zealots to kill drones. And there's the Dark Shrine, of course, as we both mentioned. We're gonna see DTs.
And I really like those two Zealots. They just had a quick peek, went in, and were spotted. And they're like, "Hi guys, do you see that we're here? So please build a couple of Zerglings." And immediately 8 Zerglings are built, and JYP backs off. I really like that.
That's like the same thing as killing 4 drones, basically.
Yeah, that was really well done. And on the other hand, so far the Dark Shrine has not been scouted. The Overlord is not able to get a peek of this.
Yeah, in fact, he's taken the Overlord out at the third base. He's chased it all the way away. He's going to kill it with his first Stalker. Kills the Overlord, and this is very unfortunate for Bjorl. Right now, he's in a lot of trouble because he can't even kill the Zerglings cost efficiently at the Watchtower, and the Probe will make a forward pile, and the question is, will that be spotted?
The thing is, as soon as he warps in 3 DTs, one of those bases will die. There is no way that you can actually save the hatch if you don't already have something in position that can detect a DT.
You're right. And what's really cool about this to me is that he's forced these roaches to chase the Zealots, but he does spot the pylon, and this is so crucial because the DTs will not be able to get into position. He immediately starts a second pylon, but this is so bad for him. He will not be able to warp in the DTs. The pylon does not even get canceled. He spots the second one immediately, and this is actually starting to look really bad for JYP as his entire strategy here may be shut down. Evolution Chamber on the way as well as a lair now, and the DTs are so far away.
The DTs just now moving in at the same time. Bjorl is attacking with these roaches, is trying to take down one of the cannons, and the double Evolution Chamber will probably not be ready. Where are the DTs? I think they're just on the... Oh, he splits them. He is not trying to take down one hatch. He's going into the natural and the third at the same time, though. He has to defend here. This is not going to be easy. There are too many units for the Zerg player. Bjorl is playing this really well, and suddenly the DTs can start to take down these probes, these drones, but the wall-off is really in danger.
Yeah, the wall up is already broken now. Probe's coming off the line. He does not block the Lings. The cannons are almost up. He needs those cannons. The DTs are doing a ton of damage to those roaches. A lot of drones being pulled, and you know what? It's starting to look like JYP may be able to take this after all with these cannons finishing and the DTs backing home to defend. He needs to stop these Lings, but he does not. They're going to go in and do a lot of damage to the mineral line.
Oh, Lings are on their way. At the same time, there's still one DT at the natural, and in the main base, JYP doing a lot of damage here. Already took down 18 harvesters. Bjal is really struggling, but at the same time, he was able to kill a fair amount of units himself. 9 probes died against 19 drones.
The problem for him, though, was that he lost all of his roaches and Lings without really doing any damage. So now he's even on workers, but he has very little army supply. His opponent's making immortals right now. He's just now only starting his roach speed, and JYP is in a great position. He had kind of an unfortunate circumstance occur with his pylon, but he used his DTs greatly in a defensive position at his natural, was able to shut down that roach attack. He made the cannons, he had them on time. Now, you guys can't see it on the production tab because he's supply blocked, but there is a Warp Prism queued up, and there it is. He's actually going to use this Warp Prism probably with the timing attack. We can also use it to drop DTs into the main base and continue to be annoying with those. He still has a total of 3 of them on the map.
Bjal definitely has to be very, very careful here right now. As you mentioned, the roach speed is on its way now, but he's only at 48 drones against 52 probes. He's way behind, and he has no roaches. He's just building another set, and the problem here is definitely that the next attack is going to be so hard for him to hold off. With Immortals, the potential of Archons, also the Warp Prism, in order to micro those Immortals, that is something that Bjal might not be ready for.
Oh, if he catches some of these units without an Overseer, that could be problematic as well. The Overseer close by, but not on top of these units. Okay, there it goes. He actually will trap and kill these DTs. It's not going to be very cost efficient to do so.
And right now the army supply is 65 for Bjal against 43 for our Slayers EG player, and he's moving in. JYP is trying to decide this game here. He's trying to make sure that... Oh, actually using the Warp Prism to fly off to the right. I really like this.
Yep, he's just going to drop one of these units over here as he attacks the other side. He's trying to really pull the vision of the Fnatic player away, and actually he will successfully drop a DT. Needs that Warp Prism, though. Right now, this is going to be so scary. He's going to hit with +2. With that next round of Warp Ends, it's going to be so scary. +2, +1 is not even done yet for the Fnatic player. Here he goes, moving in with these Stalkers. The Warp Prism is back. The units are way out of position because of the DT.
And the DT goes into the mineral line at the natural. Very well timed by JYP. He goes for the Spine Crawler immediately. And all these Roaches and Zerglings are on their way back. But nice force fields by the Protoss player. And this is looking really bad for Bjal. He's being attacked at the natural and at the third base, losing the third.
And his Roaches are just not really in position here to defend. With the Broodlings and Zerglings coming out here, drones coming off the line as well. He is desperate. The Immortal's doing so much damage. It looks like it's not going to be enough, though.
Very well played.
Oh wow! Look at the drop there.
Yeah, very well played with the Warp Prism. Great job. And JYP, he takes it. Takes game number 1 for EG Slayers. Very well done.
Yeah, it was certainly well executed. Great defense against the Roach push. Many a lesser Protoss would have just simply died, even with DTs to warp in. But he had his wall well defended. Great usage of that Dark Templar tech in all aspects of this game. Out-multitasked his opponent by far, I would say.
Yeah, it was really well played, and the attack certainly gave him something to think about, but at the same time he did so much damage in his opponent's mineral line, took down drone after drone, and Bjal was in a tough spot after JYP fended off the Zerg player's attack and was able to take down so many harvesters. So really well done, good job by JYP, and he brings EG Slayers in the lead.
Yeah, and that's not going to be something that Fnatic is very happy about, because JYP, like I said, he's known for his Protoss versus Zerg, but this guy actually is good in PvP as well. His PvT seems to be a little bit shaky these days, but his PvP is scary, so you don't want to use a Protoss against this guy. You can't snipe this guy using a PvP, because sometimes you have a specific PvP build planned. You can't use that anymore really against this guy. You can, but it's not something you want to do.
It's definitely going to be very interesting who they're going to pick. I actually think that it's going to be a Terran player, so I agree with you here.
Yeah.
But could also be Moon. I
think if you pick a Terran player now, you have to pick Rain. You can't pick Alive yet. I think Rain is a good choice. Rain's TVP in the past was really good, and I think he can actually show some good games and can take JYP out here for sure.
As you said earlier, it's just a very tough choice. Who do you want to send out against JYP? He's very, very good against Zerg, and usually a Zerg player on a good map would be kind of your choice, but still, against JYP, it's definitely going to be very, very hard.
You know,
But
it
let's see who
could
is.
be Moon. Moon actually has beaten some pros already in this team league, and he's sitting on the edge. But
Rain.
it's Rain. Wow. Rain coming out right away, and I like this choice. I mean, it's what you and I think, already felt before it was chosen who they would pick. JYP laughs at the choice. This is going to be an exciting match. Rain is actually, I mean, he is old school.
The map is Ohana, by the way. Just got our invite. Rain setting his gear up. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Rain is a player who really loved for a long time to play a little bit more, I don't want to say cheesy, but he played very aggressive.
Yes.
Title
He
barracks
was-
openings,
Yes.
early pressure, and well, he's definitely able to play the long macro game. He has proven this just lately, but against JYP, I can certainly see him try to do something a little bit cheesy, maybe a little bit tricky, try and take him down early on.
Yeah, Rain is super good player, very underrated. We are going to take a 5-minute break. When we get back, we'll see if this guy can take out JYP or if Slayer's EG will take the lead.